Hello everybody, I'm going to do a little job on the bike. I'm going to change my halogen headlamp for an LED. So if you're interested and you've got a bike like this, I'm hoping this will help you do the same job. First thing you're going to need to do is remove this little plastic false fairing. There's Allen bolts 1, 2, 3 and 4 on the other side. And to do that, you're going to need a 4mm Allen key. Next step is to remove these 3 bolts to remove this bracket. And for that, you're going to need a 10mm hex socket. You can't actually remove this bracket because the cable that goes to the instrument cluster runs through it. So what I'm going to do now is just put a bungee through it and keep it out the way so it's in that position. I'll have to turn the camera off because I've only got 2 hands. There you are, like so. So it's out the way, and the next step is to remove these 2 Allen bolts. Right, I've removed the Allen bolts, and that's a 5mm Allen key. Now the headlamp assembly, you can see it's now loose. It actually sits right below at the back, underneath here, on 2 little rubber teeth. So you can actually lift the thing off and get to the wiring. So I won't turn the camera off, I'll just put the camera down. I'll see if I can do it with one hand actually. There you go. And right down the bottom, it needs lifting up. There we are. Yeah, it lifts off the rubber teeth or spikes. I don't know if you can see them in this light. I'll see if I can just put a torch on that now, if I can find a torch. Yeah, here's one. Sorry about the dodgy camera work. You can see in there the 2 rubber teeth that the whole headlight assembly sits on. Now, the centre of the headlight is right in the middle there. This piece, let's again see if we can light it up. It's not the best lighting conditions. That's the main wiring loop, and there's a big circular rubber cover which I'm about to remove to access the existing halogen headlight. Right, next step is to pull off this bit of wire, the socket, and you can now see, it's a bit bright, you can now see the 3 spade terminals which are the back end of the bulb. Now I'm going to remove the rubber boot, and there's a circlip, and once you undo that circlip, there you can get access to the bulb and take it out. Okay, that's the rubber boot removed, and you can see the back of the bulb, and around the bulb there is a little wire circlip. Again, this is very awkward, and let me just put my finger on it if you can see it. Where's the circlip? I could do some better lighting conditions, I'm afraid. Right, there's the circlip. There's a little loop there, a little wire loop in the top of the picture. Push down on that and move it to the left, and then the bulb will come out. There's the bulb, and you can there see the circlip. Right, if you don't know, and I'm probably telling Granny to suck eggs here, do not touch a halogen bulb, because when you turn it on, it will burn out. So either handle it with tissue, or put some non-greasy gloves on, unlike me. I'm going to put this now in its special little box, away from my greasy fingers. This is the LED bulb. It's got, I think, a little fan built in the back to keep it cool. And this goes in the original hole, and the circlip holds it in place. So let's fit that right now. Okay, the LED bulb is now in its housing. It can only go in one way. There's 3 tabs on it, so you can see they're offset, so they can only go in one way. Now what I need to do is put the rubber boot back over the back end of the bulb and reconnect the connector. Okay, so I now need to put this 3-pin connector on the back end of the LED bulb, which you can see there, and then reassemble the headlight. Okay, the headlight assembly actually then stands back on those 2 little rubber spikes, and I'm now going to just put it back together, which is the exact reverse process of disassembly, starting with the 2 5mm Allen bolts. Okay, the next thing to do then is to take this bracket, I've taken the bungee off it, and remount it with the 10mm bolts. You can see now the bracket is mounted back with 1, 2, 3 10mm bolts. I shall now take the little fairing, put that on there, put on the 4 Allen bolts that hold it in place, and job done. And that, my friends, is how it's done. So the proof is starting the bike up. There you are, bright as the sun. A word of warning, when your bike comes up for an MOT, if you change a halogen bulb for an LED, it may very well fail the MOT because the headlight isn't designed for an LED. If you change the headlight unit in its entirety, then it would pass if the headlight unit was designed for an LED, but I don't think anybody's going to do that. So that's how it works. So if you've actually got an older bike and you're putting an LED in, when you go for an MOT, I'd switch it back to the halogen. It's probably a 20-minute job to do it. First time I did it took me a bit longer because I didn't know where anything was, but I can have it done now in probably, easily 20 minutes. Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye.